Moving on to superhero fatigue. All right. So,
Oh
Variety's
yes.
cover story for the first week of November was Crisis at Marvel. Jonathan Majors' backup plans, the Marvel's reshoots, reviving original Avengers, and more. So, they mentioned superhero fatigue on the cover, and I said it once, and I'll say it again. Superhero fatigue doesn't exist, but genre fatigue does. But again, superhero isn't a genre. Superheroes are
It's not.
characters that can fit into a variety of genres. The problem is that Marvel has become a machine that churns out the same kind of movies as often as they can, and they need to slow down and branch out. And bringing back all of the old cast members is not the answer, but I'll get to that at the end. So Jonathan Majors, who's playing Marvel's next big villain, Kang the Conqueror, is caught up in domestic abuse allegations. Um,
Oh.
they're considering making Doctor Doom the villain of the next Avengers movie instead of just recasting Kang. As it was set up in both Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania and Loki, Kang is a variant of many who will go to war over control of all time. That is eventually what they're leading up to with the next Avengers movie. So they
Right.
already have an easy out to recast him. It's already been proven that despite the ending of Quantumania showing that a lot of the King variants look just like Jonathan Majors, that variants can look different and just straight up be different people. King also isn't even his real name. So they can just make King a title that someone else takes up. It's not that hard to replace this man after what he's done. Like truly. They
Really not.
literally his whole story is that he's one of many. Automatically you have the easiest out in the world.
No,
and
for real.
and they're just finding whatever reason to keep an abuser on the cast list. Like, come on, get him out of here. Um,
Get this guy out of here.
but yeah, Captain Marvel's second movie, The Marvels, is
Mm-hmm.
projected to not do very well in the box office
Oh,
by Marvel
tragic.
standards and in comparison to the budget itself. Um, but we also have
Mm-hmm.
to take into consideration that the actors were not allowed to advertise it until 2 days before the movie released when the actor strike ended.
That's mm,
If they were on their usual press tour, more tickets probably would have been sold. Granted, it probably still wouldn't have made as its budget back. Um,
right.
but even then, Marvel does need a wake up call that their cookie cutter approach isn't working. They got to start losing some money for them to realize that. Unfortunately, money talks,
Mm-hmm.
and I just hate for it to be the at the expense of one of the only woman led Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Of the dozens upon dozens, there's so many of these movies now. There's only been three woman led Marvel movies. The first one being Captain Marvel, then we have Black Widow, and then we have this, which is starring three women, which is
Mm,
great. But this movie not doing as well as people would have hoped it would is going to give so many sexist MCU fans the ammo they need to just shit
right.
on these characters unnecessarily. Um,
Yeah.
the Blade movie has been going through a lot of issues resulting in Mahershala Ali almost leaving his role as the titular character of Blade
Oh.
because
Oh
he he
wow.
he would have been playing not second, not third, but fourth fiddle in the story.
The the main titular character.
Would have not been the focus of the movie.
This. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh
ridiculous.
goodness.
They got this extremely famous actor to play this amazing character. It's it's
Mm.
just a black man killing vampires. Come on. Just
Right.
that's all it is. How is it so hard for you to get this right? But yeah, hopefully I need this movie. I like Blade, and I need more Blade. We haven't had Blade in so long, and I need Wesley Snipes to make a cameo. Low key, I think Wesley Snipes should play Whistler, but that's besides the point.
Mm.
Yeah, I want this movie. Hopefully he stays, and nothing
Yeah.
nothing happens in the meantime that makes him actually leave, and that this movie comes out and that it's good because Marvel they've just been messing up, and
They happen. They happen.
it sounds like they're about to bring back some dead characters to try and save their asses. And that,
That's
like I
not
like I
gonna
said,
work.
completely
Ugh.
unnecessary. Because here's the thing: Iron Man, Captain America, and Black Widow are not like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. They aren't the Trinity of Marvel. And before those movies, those characters weren't even well known or that popular.
Right.
So it's like you can easily still have an extremely successful MCU without those characters. Their stories are over. They're done. They're gone. Captain America may still be alive and show up in the future, but Iron Man, Black Widow, they're dead. Okay, my like something I really want for these universe for these live action versions of these comic book universes, for them to do something that the comics can't do, which is have time pass and move on, characters die, torches being passed on, other people taking up mantles permanently. Because in real life, these actors will pass away and die, and will have no choice but to actually move on. And because of
Right.
that, these universes have to also actually move on. And that's what I want to see in live action. I want to see these actual time pass and things change rather than always go back to the status quo like they do in the comics. And don't ruin that by bringing back these characters.
There's no point to it.
And the reality is, a lot of Marvel's biggest characters aren't even on the big screen yet in the X-Men. So you still have the chance to get people back. The X-Men is their trump card. The moment the X-Men come back, everybody's going to come back with them. And they know that.
And I'm one of those people.
Exactly.
I want more X-Men movies. Like that's I think we talked about this on the cast before, but like X-Men is the only Marvel property I care about. So it's like as soon as they come back, I'm all for it. All this other these other characters, I don't care.
And the
Like
problem is,
there's too
you could care.
there's too much.
You could.
I could.
Because they
I
have
really
a lot
could.
of really dope characters that they're starting to push to the forefront, but they just aren't doing the proper job of really, one, making good projects, but also just, selling these characters to the people like they did with all the other ones.
Right.
But as much as it sucks to see this happening to a franchise I love, it's a lesson to the interest. It's a lesson that the industry needs to learn. And as a comic book fan, it's nothing new. Comic books go through messy eras like this all the time. This is par for the course of comic books, so it's whatever. It'll get better. They'll learn their lesson as long as people stop paying them.
Right.